Hi, my name is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also a proud Phoenix Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to be speaking with an incredible, once-in-a-generation artist. His name, Gentle Man Goo Goo. For more on Gentle Man Goo Goo, you can read more about them right below this video, but in the meantime, take a sneak peek at their latest single, California Freak. Well, hello, Gentle Man Goo Goo. How are you?
Good, Will. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. And I'm doing so much better now that I'm speaking with you. And I'm so excited that the audience just got a little sneak peek of your latest California Freak. I want to know first and foremost, though, where did you grow up and when did you realize that you had such a love of music?
I grew up in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I grew up with nine siblings in a large family, and we grew up playing American Idol on PlayStation and singing and playing guitar and like like watching Buffy the musical and just like a love for kind of like campy, like over the top kind of showy theatrical performance. And so we used to put on our own little shows in our house, and so that's why I named my record label the Wilson House, because growing up in Las Vegas, um, just singing with my siblings is just that's where the true my authentic passion lies. Thinking about that and going through moving to New York City and then thinking about moving to LA and coming back to Las Vegas is just like through all my life experiences, music has always kind of been the one thing that's been consistent. So that's where I've kind of developed the love for it. It was definitely early on in childhood, just singing with my siblings.
Well, I love it. I can totally relate. Before I became a Broadway director, for 25 years, I performed with my twin brother, Anthony, culminating in a performance at Carnegie Hall. We did our own little theatrical, nothing like you, though, because as a theater director, I'm just feeling the vibe of theatricality and unapologetic theatricality, dare I say. And I am so excited that the audience got a little sneak peek of your latest tune, California Freak. Talk to me a little bit about the concept, not only behind the song, but the music video.
So the song is kind of like a little bit sarcastic in its approach, just because I was thinking like what it might be like to be a very like highly successful like YouTube star, kind of like a Dua Lipa or like a Charlie Puth, kind of like writing really heartfelt music, but what's all on the radio is just like goo goo gaga, just like a lot of funk style, kind of like the same style stuff right now is what I'm hearing. And so I thought it would kind of be ironic to kind of, from the perspective of almost like Gentleman Goo Goo, this kind of camped up, almost like, Lower East Side gay bar kind of like dude who's like really like all about that type of life. And so he's moving to LA and kind of ironically being like hanging out with RuPaul and like maybe if I moved to California, I could be a freak, and be like everybody else there. And so it's kind of like an ironic kind of idea put into kind of like a fun type of pop song.
I love it. I mean, I love the dichotomy of it. I love the wink of it all. You have such a childlike wonder and play about you, gentleman Goo Goo. And I want to know, first and foremost, before we get into that, how did you come up with your name?
My name, I was listening to Queen, and I was a big Gaga fan growing up, and I know that she was listening to Radio Gaga, and it's like all you hear is Radio Gaga, Radio Goo Goo, and my dad would always be like, "You gotta be like Gaga, you gotta be like Gaga, Alex, you just gotta go for it." And I was just like, if she could be Lady Gaga, then I could be Gentleman Goo Goo.
I love it. And I want to go back to that childlike wonder you have. Obviously, you've never lost it. How do you
Mhm.
keep it alive?
It's definitely something that I keep close to me. It's a lot. It's like something spiritual in its approach. It's like the inner child. It's like if I'm not having the best time ever, then what's the point, kind of thing. It's like I need to be enjoying every aspect of my career, of my expression, of who I am, down to every second of being on this earth. And I feel like when it comes to music, it's just kind of like a visual, like audio expression, outward expression of my inward spirit in a way.
Well, it's beautiful. I mean, look at you're for me, you're far beyond a singer-songwriter. You're a true creator and a true artist. I feel like, especially when you mention the whole visual aspect, as we saw in California Freak, that you were able to somehow depict very complex yet fun emotions.
Yeah.
How do you land on the color scheme and creative landscape of something like California Freak to express what's going on inside?
I think right now, especially with the pandemic and just a lot of the worldly things going on right now, I feel like the movement that I'm seeing is almost reminiscent of the 70s and the 60s and the hippies movement, and just some people reaching outwardly for inward kind of issues. And so looking at that and kind of looking at it from a sarcastic kind of standpoint, being like, I also did like a Lord cover, which is like I really like her new single Mood Ring, where she's like, "Let's burn the sage and I'll cleanse the crystals," and it's kind of like putting it in a fun pop song, but it's also very aware of what's going on in society, but looking at it in a realistic way, but also poking at it, poking fun at the idea of just history repeating itself, just kind of like, we're just kind of going through the same things, just other
Yeah.
generations have gone through.
And I love that you have a commentary, but I kind of look at it as like do this like kaleidoscope of Gentleman Goo Goo. It's like a little bit thwarted, it's a little bit dissonant, it's a little more colorful and angular, yet it allows us to eavesdrop in on your POV and also something that we can all relate to, though.
Yeah, I really loved Andy Warhol and even Michael Alec, just like Party Monster,
Totally.
all
I
that
am
crazy
feeling
stuff.
so much Warhol about you and your brand and what you put out there. And listen, gentleman Goo Goo, I am so thrilled to have finally met you. And before we go, though, I want to know if you had to speak to little gentleman Goo Goo now, what would you tell him?
Just don't give up. I kind of already do that in my like daily. I'll just kind of go back and just think of what advice I give to myself, and I think that's an important thing to do as an artist. Just kind of just be that support. If anything, I just be like, just don't give up. Just one day you'll look back and be like, that one person you've been waiting for is yourself.
God bless you, gentleman Goo Goo. You're an incredible inspiration, and I want to let our audience know. For more on the wonderful Gentleman Goo Goo, you can read more about them right below this video. Gentleman Goo Goo, thank you so much for your time today.
It's been a pleasure, Will. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful.